You're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay.
Well, we're gonna know. In the least amount of fights, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Today we are diving straight into the foundation of Floyd Mayweather's self-declared greatness. This isn't trash talk, it's a resume recited with precision. Floyd frames legacy through efficiency, least fights, most champions, highest gates. He's not asking for validation, he's asserting dominance. Every stat is calculated to shut down debate. This moment sets the tone for everything that follows. Floyd isn't defending himself yet. He's reminding the world who built the standard everyone is judged by.
You think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? That's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
This is where confidence quietly turns into protection. Floyd isn't flexing anymore, he's sealing his legacy in concrete. When he agrees that the numbers say he's the greatest, it feels less like celebration and more like reinforcement. Greats don't usually need confirmation. The timing matters here. The louder the reminder, the clearer the pressure underneath. This clip feels calm on the surface, but it hints that Floyd knows the conversation is shifting away from him.
Yo, yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh, shit, okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm going to always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
This is the line that cracked the boxing world in half. Crawford doesn't stutter, hesitate, or soften the blow. He says he'd stop Floyd easier than Spence, and that changes everything. Not edge him. Not outbox him. Stop him. That's a direct challenge to Floyd's invincibility. In boxing culture, that's the ultimate form of confrontation. The confidence isn't loud, it's cold. And that's why it hit harder than trash talk ever could.
You could take a guy like Canelo, this guy could do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
What makes this moment dangerous is how natural it sounds. Crawford isn't selling a fantasy, he's expressing belief built from experience. He says he picks himself against anyone because that's what champions do. There's no disrespect in his tone, just certainty. That calm confidence after dismantling elite fighters carries weight. Floyd understands this type of mindset. It's the same one he once had, now coming from someone else.
Think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, it's, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Now the talk meets reality. Crawford's career backs every word he says. Spence wasn't just beaten, he was broken down piece by piece. Canelo wasn't survived, he was controlled. These weren't lucky nights, they were systematic victories. That's why this moment lingers. Floyd knows dominance when he sees it. And Crawford's dominance looks disturbingly familiar, just expressed in a different era.
And I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather.
Is it the undisputed?
Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And not even, and honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, but I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather's the greatest of all time. But I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. I mean, that's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. No, but that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that. And not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
This is where the comparison becomes uncomfortable. Floyd mastered risk management. Crawford embraces risk entirely. One perfected the art of winning safely, the other wins by expanding his limits. While Floyd entertains nostalgia fights, Crawford is writing history in real time. That contrast reshapes public perception. Boxing fans reward courage as much as perfection. And right now, Crawford represents evolution while Floyd represents legacy preservation.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds. Claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's part.
Listen to how fighters analyze this matchup. Size, reach, adaptability, strength. These aren't opinions, they're physical realities. Crawford's dimensions change the math. He controls distance, switches stances, and pressures without rushing. Floyd thrived on counters and timing. Crawford thrives on dismantling rhythm entirely. That difference fuels belief that this wouldn't be a chess match. It would be a breakdown.
I beat this guy, it's an excuse. I beat this guy, he's too young or whatever. So I'm never really going to give my full respect until afterwards. Yes, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career. We really didn't realize it until now, when he's like doing extraordinary stuff, like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, the #1 guy that's the face of boxing. And the way that I handled that, people like, oh man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. And I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose. So I just think, when you that much better than the competition, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at it and just be like, man, that dude was good.
Risk is the dividing line between admiration and legend. Crawford jumping divisions isn't reckless, it's intentional. People expected resistance at 168 and got dominance instead. Floyd built an immaculate record by choosing moments. Crawford is building greatness by challenging them. Boxing history remembers who dared. This is why Crawford's name keeps rising in all-time debates. He's expanding what greatness looks like.
Yeah, I'll let you know. There's no fighter that will ever be better than me. There's no fighter that wasn't better than me before me or after me or when I'm long gone. I'm the best.
Analysts calling Crawford masterful aren't exaggerating. His poise under pressure separates him. He controls pace, distance, and exchanges without panic. Fighters don't just lose to him, they unravel. Floyd neutralized threats through defense. Crawford dismantles confidence. That psychological edge matters. It's the reason this conversation won't die. Dominance like this forces re-evaluation of old hierarchies.
Rank now, all time. Ending this interview.
Number one, and the only one that he got at top is Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford is this generation guy. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishing all the goals that he accomplished.
Matched up? How do they match up, Floyd and Terence?
Hey, I'm like this, man. It's going to be great because Floyd, he's about his work. He put in work. We've been watching it for decades. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out of retirement to do this fight, that's a win for the whole world of boxing. Every generation from Floyd generation to this generation didn't get to see it come. That's just like we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play. Come on. So
this is where things get personal. Floyd isn't bothered by criticism, he's bothered by independence. Crawford didn't come up under his wing. He wasn't shaped by his system. He didn't need permission. That autonomy threatens the old order. Floyd built loyalty into his empire. Crawford built success without it. That's rare in boxing, and history favors fighters who walk their own path.
World of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
When Floyd says no one will ever surpass him, it lands differently now. Confidence sounds different when comparisons are fresh. This isn't denial, it's resistance. Crawford isn't chasing Floyd, he's existing alongside him. That's the discomfort. Greatness used to be singular. Now it's being shared. And Floyd has never had to share the spotlight before.
I didn't expect that the fight will be like that, but I thought it will finish 12 rounds. But Crawford is he did a good job.
Is Crawford
Manny
fan number one? Fan for fan number one?
I think so. Pretty much, I don't think.
Did you feel like they need a rematch, Manny, after what you saw tonight?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a rematch.
That's all we gotta go.
It's kind of a one-sided fight.
Does this fight make Terence Crawford an all-time great in your eyes?
Well, he's still in his career, so he's prime in his career, so we'll see the journey of his life.
This debate stays heated because styles clash philosophically. Floyd avoided chaos and mastered control. Crawford invites chaos and conquers it. One wins rounds, the other breaks wills. Fans choose based on values. Perfection versus domination. Safety versus ambition. Neither is wrong, but eras decide differently. Modern boxing leans toward risk, and Crawford embodies that shift completely.
When you mention great fighters, right? 90% of your great fighters are black. The ones from the past. Now, with the Eastern Bloc coming on like they are, there's going to be some great ones coming on now. Even with Lil Tony, as you see, these guys are going to be great. They're going to start eclipsing and coming up there too. But right now, if you had to name 5 of the best fighters of all time, 4 of them are going to be black. You understand me? Who did he beat that was black in his prime, that was in their prime, that was on his level? No.
The Spence fight still defines this argument. That wasn't competitive, it was decisive. 3 knockdowns, total command, no doubt. Floyd rarely finished elite opponents that way. That matters to modern audiences. They want clarity, not caution. Crawford delivered certainty. And moments like that rewrite legacies faster than undefeated records ever could.
Because, like, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference to people.
Crawford did amazing, he a legend, man. 3-time undisputed. You got to take his hat up to him. He went up 2 weight classes and dominated a legend. So my hat goes up to him, and he's all respect.
Do you think Canelo is the same guy that he was before? You think he's completely falling off?
Canelo's Canelo, you know what I mean? Canelo's a legend, bro. You gotta, at the end of the day, whatever happened that fight, that don't diminish his career, his image. You feel me? I think right now, he's at that time where he took an L, but he ain't take an L, you know what I'm saying? He got paid and he a legend at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So if he want to walk over in the sunset right now, his name, his last name is in the cement, you know what I'm saying? As one of the greatest Mexican fighters in the world.
I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but Crawford does have all the titles. You're a really big name. He's kind of in your way right now a little bit. Is that a fight where you're just like, yeah, me and him can get it on for sure?
Not for sure. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? We don't duck no smoke. Right now, I'm focused on my comeback fight, you know what I'm saying? I gotta put my head down, whatever happened in my last fight is cool, but that ain't dim my light at all, you know what I'm saying? I'm still a superstar, I'm still a star, I'm still the king of New York, man, I'm fly, I look good, I fight good, man, so, I'm just...
When legends start choosing sides, the conversation becomes unavoidable. Even those who praise Floyd admit Crawford's dominance is unique. Skill versus outcome. Smoothness versus impact. Crawford is forcing historians to update criteria. Boxing greatness isn't frozen in time. It evolves with performances that shift expectations. Crawford's run is doing exactly that.
And I beat him, but we both been out there, they say he's over the hill. But then when Pacquiao fights him, they say, oh, this is the greatest thing we ever seen. So then when I fight Hatton, they say I'm too big for Hatton, but then they say
no, nobody said that. You got full credit for both of those wins, Floyd. That's why you became a superstar.
No, I did not.
Yes,
no,
you
I
did.
did not. No,
sure
I did
you
not.
did. From
are
me,
you gonna
I
let
gave
me
you full
speak my
credit.
piece?
If you're talking to me now, I gave you full credit for that.
Am I gonna speak my piece or not?
Go
Am I
ahead.
gonna speak my piece or not?
Go ahead.
Okay, because you want to interview me. I ain't interviewing you. You want to talk to me. I don't worry about talking.
Floyd,
you want to talk
go ahead.
to me.
I'm waiting on you.
So then when I fight Hatton, they said, oh, Mayweather is too big for Hatton. But then Marquez and Pacquiao can fight, it's no problem. But now, but I'm too big for Marquez. I'm too big for Marquez, but I'm not too big for Pacquiao. Which one is it?
Well,
which one is it?
Which one is it?
Which one is it?
It's that Pacquiao was 130 pounds and he keeps moving out and whacking guys who are much bigger. He gets full credit.
Resumes tell stories beyond names. Floyd's list is deeper, but Crawford's path is steeper. One fought timing. The other fought danger. Fans remember who wanted smoke when it mattered. Crawford didn't wait for perfect moments. He created them. That hunger separates champions from legends in the eyes of history.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in the fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he's a chess master. Yeah, his IQ in that
The funny
sense is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
Yeah, that's true. But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
gotta pioneer, right?
Yeah, you gotta. There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere, and I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure out.
Floyd's defensive interviews reveal the tension beneath the surface. He wants full credit, always. But greatness isn't decided immediately. It's judged years later with context. Crawford may take risks that lead to losses, but history often rewards courage over caution. Perfect records fade. Fearless runs endure.
Trainer, do you feel like he should just sell off into the sunset after this monumental
Well,
win?
you know what? He made it look so easy. You know what I'm saying? Got 2-3 more in him. You know what I'm saying? Train camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge if you want to challenge yourself. Yeah, I don't mind.
This feels like a generational shift whether Floyd accepts it or not. He defined the ceiling for years, but Crawford may have raised it. Undisputed across divisions, fearless in ambition, unbothered by comparisons. One protected greatness. The other expanded it. That's why this debate won't fade. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.